All right, Raf Diallo here from RT Sport, and I'm delighted to be joined by Simon Carr, who has just announced his retirement from professional tennis. And Simon, hope you're keeping well on this very sunny day, as you said, this rare bit of good weather that we that we have on our island. Obviously, very different circumstances from our last chat back in late January, where you were building up to the Davis Cup tie against Austria. And before we get to your decision to retire, maybe if you'd like to talk us back through I suppose, the emotions of playing Austria in Limerick on home soil. I suppose the first time in 9 years that Ireland has had a home tie, just what that experience was like.
Yeah, obviously at the time was my first home tie. Was an unbelievable event. They really utilized the occasion well. In bringing it down to Limerick. And I think in general it was a really overall success. For the sport of tennis in Ireland. It was a really cool event to be part of. I really enjoyed the week. Unfortunately, didn't get the run out I was looking for, but that's how it goes sometimes. That's sport. But yeah, I think in general was a massive success. Aside from the scoreline, but in general, just to promote the image of Irish tennis in a positive way, I think it was a really successful tie.
Yeah, and I suppose now 3 or 4 months on, you've decided to retire from professional tennis. When was the moment that you realized that, it was time to I suppose, pull the curtain down?
Yeah, it was a long drawn out process. To pinpoint one exact moment is difficult. There was a lot of times where you question yourself, and those became more, I suppose, regular throughout the last couple of years. Obviously, I had quite a few struggles with my body. I had a lower back fracture, a few torn hamstrings, hip problems, impingements in both hips. So didn't really have the rub of the luck body wise, and those sorts of things take their toll throughout time over time. Um, I suppose I've been struggling a good bit for the last couple of years, to say 2 years, maybe 2.5. A lot of time alone really didn't. The lifestyle is very, very difficult, and became quite unsustainable for me after a certain period of time. A lot of airports, a lot of hotels, alone, which is the worst part. It's part and parcel to travel as a professional athlete, but taking all those trips, all the matches, playing all these matches, and traveling to all these places on your own. There's a lot of time to think and a lot of time to get yourself into some negative places. And yeah, I think by the end of things, it had just worn me down. And there are a huge amount of things that I will miss about professional tennis. The amount of things it's given me has been, unquantifiable. And yeah, things I won't miss, i.e. the traveling, the time alone, the time in isolation. But I wouldn't change it for the world. And yeah, it's like I said, in my announcement, bittersweet, and a lot of mixed emotions, but ready to go for the next chapter now, and to close the book on professional tennis.
Yeah, I think I would have had an impression anyway that the tennis tour would have been quite a lonely place, given it's an individual sport, probably similar to golf and a few of those other sort of sports where there is a lot of travel involved. And even looking at some of the places you've been to, in terms of tournaments, successful ones, the likes of going to places like Uganda, Egypt, India, and then like Tunisia as well, Mexico, you kind of name it, like every corner of the globe. And it seems like is it difficult to form bonds on the tour? I mean, you're all kind of fighting for the one thing, but I'd imagine there's some of the same faces that you would come across on tour as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you need each other. At the futures level, everyone's, unless they've got a bit of funding, a bit of backing, everyone's doing it on their own. And you tend to find your groups. You tend to conform to your groups. Different nations are luckier that they have, I suppose, a bigger number of players to choose from at these tournaments. There's only a couple of us out there from Ireland, so usually difficult to kind of cross paths tournament wise. Everyone's got their own schedules and stuff. So, but yeah, you need each other. You conform to groups. You develop friends. Some of the friendships I've gained from professional tennis are the best ones I have today. And that's an incredible part of it. It's a tough dynamic because, you know, it comes with the territory that if you're there at the same place, you're competing for the same thing, and that can bring its own challenges. You know, I've shared rooms with guys to cut costs, and then I've had to play them the next day, kind of thing. Which is a funny dynamic. There's not too much chatter the night before going out for a match, but yeah, you tend to lean on people. You develop your own groups and help each other out that way. You know.
Yeah, and you kind of talked about some of the players who have a high funding, because even looking at the prize money on the futures tour, the ATP Challengers, where like, for example, like when you won in Tunisia in 2019, I saw the prize money was $15,000, but having had a dig through, it's not $15,000 to the winner, it's $15,000, it appears, to
For the
everybody
32.
yeah, for
Yeah,
the whole
yeah, yeah.
32 make the main draw. So it is a real grind, I suppose, even in that sense, to try and cover the cost of travel, considering like you're going to far-flung places, and even looking at flights to, to go to, say, like Eastern Europe or something, or some other part that's not even that far away, it is quite expensive.
Yeah, you're living off I can't recall exactly what the prize money was for Tunisia, but I definitely just about broke even for the trip, probably because I did a 3-week trip. Yeah, look, it comes with the territory. It's the bottom rung of professional tennis futures, and that's part and parcel of trying to work your way up. All the players you see on the TV started there. So you have to start somewhere, and they're tricky places to be, because these conditions at these events, they're very difficult. I've played in some crazy conditions in some of these places, but the thing, yeah, there's a lot of great players in these futures, and they all come up through them. So it's a bit of a jungle in there, and it's difficult to get yourself out of them. And I suppose that's the challenge, that all professional tennis players face. And yeah, it's a tough lifestyle, but it's there's some amazingly rewarding experiences in there. There's nothing like coming through, Matt, because the stakes feel so high in your own head. There's nothing like coming through a big match, or a match that was a bit of a mental block for you or something like that. There's no greater high or no greater feeling than feeling like that. So yeah, some amazing memories from these places.
Yeah, in terms of the supports that are there, whether it's coming from the ATP or the ITF, what is out there in terms of even helping out with like sports psychology and that kind of thing?
Oh, there's nothing. There's nothing. You're doing it on your own. I dabbled a little bit with sports psychs back in the day, but there's no real support. It's off your own bat. And yeah, the ATP and the ITF are two separate entities. So there's not a whole lot of collaboration going on there between the two. And yeah, with regard to supports like that, you're on your own. You're fending for yourself, and yeah, those expenses add up big time.
Yeah, and I suppose the one thing you did have was the family backing as well. I think we spoke about it back in January. Obviously, your mother is the one who sort of got you onto the on the interested in tennis, I suppose, when you were 9. But also your dad, much more recently, in terms of the S&C side. So that is sort of invaluable.
Yeah, 100%. You know, not just my mum and dad, my whole family. My two sisters, my brother. It was such a family effort. They were the ones throughout the whole journey, texting after every match, phone calls in the evenings, all of that sort of thing. They were there throughout the whole thing, and I will be forever grateful for the support that they've given me, and hopefully I can return it in some way, shape, or form in the future. Obviously, my parents, incredible, unbelievable support, understanding throughout the years, even probably when I wasn't making too much sense or too much progress myself. They stuck by me with everything. So yeah, unbelievable support, and extremely grateful for all that I've had over the years.
And if you're looking back at the journey within professional tennis as a whole, what's been the sort of the highest point or the biggest positives that when you look back and you kind of think, yeah, those moments made it worth it?
Yeah, my first professional title in Tunisia is definitely up there. All of the Davis Cup ties I've played, Barbados 2021, I think it was, or 22 maybe. Amazing week. All of the Davis Cup weeks, so much fun. The day-to-day stuff, I really enjoyed being a professional athlete. Waking up in the morning with a very clear purpose, a clear goal, and yeah, there's a few definite ones that stick out. The few finals that I made afterwards. One of them was in Portugal. That was a great week. Many doubles titles, doubles professional titles throughout the years. And yeah, there's so many memories that were off the court at these events that not all of them I can say on camera, I'd say, but yeah, some amazing memories in there as well.
Yeah, I won't press you for those off-court ones. But in terms of what's next, then do you have any plans in place, or are you sort of taking a little bit of time and then jumping into whatever the next chapter is?
Yeah, so I've been, I'm very interested in business. Something that's always kind of piqued my interest a little bit. I've actually been doing an internship type program in Carr Golf at the moment, who really supported me throughout the last few months and um, allowed me flexibility to work towards playing Davis Cup in February, start of February, I think it was. They've been amazing. It's an amazing company, with a lot of potential for the future. I'm a big golf fan myself, so it's a great spot to be for me, and I'm really enjoying that. With regard to the future, I don't know yet. As of right now, a lot of options open. So we'll see. But yeah, business is something that's extremely, gets me going, gets me excited and motivated, and all that sort of thing. So we'll see where that goes next.
Yeah, and I suppose the UCD and the open learning as a pathway, that seems to be quite helpful for you as well in terms of at least even getting yourself back involved on the education side.
Yeah, 100%. I was involved in open learning for I think 3 years, a couple of years ago, and in the last year I've taken on a business degree. So that's ongoing at the moment. I just finished the last exam there last week, so nice to get that kind of off the shoulders, and get a bit more time in my hands. Juggling the two wasn't easy, so it's nice to get that over and done with for the year. Really enjoying that course. It's an amazing course, and it's perfect for me. Allows flexibility, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So looking forward to year two of that.
Yeah, I suppose aside from getting a bit of a chance to go onto the golf course from time to time, as you've kind of intimated there, tennis as a hobby, is that still going to be something that's going to be a huge part of your life?
Yeah, 100%. Such a being part of my daily life for so long. It's so difficult to just turn it off. I still really enjoy playing. I love getting on the court and hitting balls and practicing and stuff like that. Um, you know, I don't see myself full time coaching, but I definitely like to give back. At a limited part time capacity if it suits my daily work life schedule. I'd love to get involved and give back to the Irish tennis community, because they've been extremely supportive over me over the past few years. So it's something that would be I'd definitely be interested in. And yeah, would look forward to that opportunity.
And a final point in terms of the future for Irish tennis then and how bright it looks. When it comes to individuals, Michael Agui seems to be making a bit of a name for himself. Do you look at it as something that's bright both on the men's and women's side at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, I've been quite far removed the last couple of months, I suppose, trying to get my head straight and make a decision for myself. I have been following Michael Agui. He's doing incredibly well. He's so much potential. He's an incredible athlete, and I really hope that he gets the support he deserves, and he can push on to do some great things. He's a really nice fella, and I wish him all the best. There's a few other lads out there. Oscar's still playing away and doing well. He had a good win there this week. So I've been keeping track. A few young lads coming up as well. Connor Gannon is playing well and has a lot of potential. So I'll be keeping a close eye and will help out, any way I can. It's an interesting time. Obviously, a huge boost in February with Davis Cup ties. So hopefully we can build on that and push forward.
Yeah, onwards and upwards, and obviously for
Absolutely.
yourself, Simon, best of luck with the future, and thanks very much for your time.
Thanks a million, Raf. Appreciate it.